I knew something was going to go wrong that day. I just didn't think my daughter would be the one who got hurt. I felt it before I even walked in. That tight pressure in my chest. The kind that doesn't warn you. It just knows. You shouldn't be here, but I opened the gate anyway. That was my first mistake. Stay calm, don't react. I repeated it like a rule. I'm 29, a single mom. And everything in my life comes down to one thing, keeping my daughter safe. Haley, 8 years old, still believes family means protection. We were there for a backyard barbecue, not because I wanted to be. Because my mom said, people are noticing how distant you've become. Meaning, show up, pretend. Haley held my hand as we walked in. Pink hoodie, jeans, fresh from dance practice. She looked happy, that made it worse. Rachel stepped outside like she owned the place. Her eyes landed on Haley and stayed there. Well, she said slowly, you're raising her just like you turned out. She stepped closer, too close. Awkward and embarrassing. Then she reached out and adjusted Haley's hoodie, slowly, like she was fixing something broken. At least try to make her look presentable. Haley didn't argue, didn't speak. She just nodded, like she agreed. My mom laughed. Bad choices don't magically create good kids. My dad passed by. Still playing victim, he muttered. Then quieter, you chose this life. I looked down at Haley. She was staring at the pool, too quiet. And with my family, quiet never meant safe. I should have left. I almost did. Instead, I crouched down. Hey, go sit by the pool. I'll bring you something. She nodded, trusted me, walked away. And I turned my back just for a second. 5 seconds. You ever feel a moment shift before you see it? I felt it. And I turned around. Haley wasn't standing anymore. Rachel's hand was still in the air just after the push. I didn't even think, I just moved. Haley! But I was already too late. Rachel's hand pushed forward, not hard, not dramatic, just enough, and Haley disappeared. There was no splash at first, just silence. Like the moment didn't register. Like my brain refused to accept what it just saw. Then the water broke. A sharp splash. Too late. I was already stepping forward and no one else moved. Not one person. My body snapped into motion. Everything else blurred, voices, movement, noise, none of it mattered. All I could see was the water. Haley didn't come up right away. Her hoodie dragged her down. Her arms moved fast, panicked but weak. Uncoordinated. She can't swim. That thought hit like a shock. I reached the edge, ready to jump, ready to grab her. A hand grabbed my arm. Hard, yanked me backward. Stop! My dad's voice, right behind me. I twisted instantly. Let go. If she panics this easily, he said coldly, that's your fault. I tried to pull forward again, but his grip tightened. I wasn't even thinking about him anymore. I was watching my daughter disappear. Haley's head went under. For a second, she was gone. My chest dropped, like something inside me just gave out. I screamed it so hard it burned. I kicked backward, hit his leg once, twice, as hard as I could. His grip slipped, just enough. And I tore free. I didn't think. I didn't hesitate. I jumped. The water hit cold, heavy, dragging, but I forced myself down, eyes open, searching, and then I saw her. Her eyes locked onto mine like she thought I wasn't coming. Still moving, but slower now. I grabbed her, pulled her into me, and kicked up with everything I had. We broke the surface, and she gasped, choking, coughing, clinging to me. I dragged us out of the pool, held her tight, her whole body shaking against mine, and then I looked up. Rachel was still standing there, smiling like nothing happened. My mom didn't move, didn't rush, didn't react. She took a slow sip of her drink and said, "Relax, she's not made of glass." My dad adjusted his sleeve, calm, unbothered, like this was normal. And in that moment, something in me went completely still. Not panic, not fear. Something colder. I held Haley tighter, felt her shaking, heard her struggle to breathe, and I understood it clearly. This wasn't a family. And this time, I wasn't going to survive it. I was going to end it. Stay with me, hey, stay with me. My voice didn't sound like mine. Too fast. Too sharp. Haley was coughing against my shoulder, small, broken breaths, her fingers gripping my shirt like she thought I might disappear too. "It's okay," I said quickly. "I've got you." But my hands were shaking. Bad. I pulled her closer, felt how cold she was, how hard her body trembled. Behind me, laughter. Not loud, not dramatic, just there. I didn't turn around. I didn't trust what I would do if I did. "Get a towel," my mom said casually, like someone had just spilled something. No one moved. Again, that's when it hit me, not slowly. Clearly. Nothing here was going to change, not apologies. Not time. I stood up, still holding Haley, her arms locked around my neck. "Look at me," I said softly. She didn't. Her eyes were heavy, half closed. "Hey, stay with me." That came out sharper. Her breathing hitched, then steadied just enough. I exhaled, but only halfway. I almost lost her. And then everything inside me went still. Not calm, not numb. Focused. I adjusted my grip on Haley, turned, and finally looked at them. Rachel stood there, arms crossed now, watching, like she was waiting to see what I'd do next. My dad looked irritated. My mom looked bored. "Don't start," she said. "You always make things bigger than they are." I didn't answer. Because this time, I wasn't reacting. I reached into my pocket. My phone was still there. Damp. My thumb hovered. Not because I didn't know what to do, but because I knew exactly what this would start. This was it. Not later. Not after things settled. Now I pressed call. 911, what's your emergency? My dad straightened. That got his attention. I didn't look at him. My daughter was pushed into a pool, I said, steady. She can't swim. Silence. Real silence this time. What's your location? The operator asked. I gave it, clear, exact. She's breathing, I added, but she inhaled water. Behind me, movement. Hang up, my dad said, lower now, not angry, warning. I ignored him. Rachel let out a small laugh, like she was curious how far I'd go. Ma'am, stay on the line, the operator said. Help is on the way. Help is on the way, and for the first time, they weren't in control anymore. I pulled Haley closer, felt her breathing against me, uneven but there. For the first time since we walked in, they didn't feel in control. Not my dad, not my mom, not Rachel, and they knew it. Because in less than 10 minutes, someone else was walking into that backyard. And this time, they weren't going to get away with it. I heard them before I saw them. Sirens, distant then closer. My dad exhaled sharply, annoyed, not worried. Seriously, my mom muttered. You actually called them? I didn't answer. I just held Haley tighter. Her fingers tightened again, then slipped, then held on. Stay with me, I whispered. The sirens cut off. Doors slammed, footsteps. And just like that, the atmosphere shifted. 2 officers stepped into the backyard, paramedics right behind them. Everything that felt normal a minute ago didn't anymore. What happened here? One of the officers asked, slower this time. I opened my mouth, but my dad stepped forward first. She slipped, he said quickly. Kids run around. It happens. Of course, the officer looked at him, then at me. I didn't rush, didn't raise my voice. She was pushed. Silence, a small shift in the air. That's not true, my mom cut in immediately. You always turn everything into a scene. There were people here, I said. Ask them. A couple people stood nearby, watching, avoiding eye contact. No one spoke. Then someone shifted, like they almost said something and stopped. The paramedics stepped closer. Let us take her, one said gently. For a second, I didn't move. Then Haley coughed again, and I let them. They wrapped her in a blanket, checked her breathing, her pulse. She inhaled water, one said. We need to take her in. I'm coming with her. Of course. Behind me, my dad tried again. Don't do this, he said quietly, not angry, careful. I looked at him, really looked, and there was nothing left to react with. She could have died. I said it flat. That landed. Not emotionally, physically. Even the officer shifted slightly. Ma'am, he said, turning to me, can you tell me exactly what happened? I nodded, but before I could speak, Rachel laughed, soft, quick, like she already knew how this would go. She slipped, she said. Everyone saw it. No one confirmed it. No one denied it, just silence. But this time it felt different, because now they weren't the only ones listening. The officer's gaze moved between us, careful, measuring. And in that moment, I realized something. For the first time, they couldn't just decide what happened, because the next question he asked wasn't for me, and they weren't ready for it. The officer didn't look at me. He turned slightly toward the people standing behind my parents. You said everyone saw it, he said calmly. Did anyone actually see what happened? Silence, thick this time, uncomfortable. My dad shifted his weight. My mom crossed her arms tighter. Rachel didn't move, still confident, still waiting. Then someone spoke. "I saw it." Quiet, almost unsure, everyone turned. It was one of my cousins. He didn't step forward. Didn't raise his voice, but he didn't take it back either. "She didn't slip," he added. "She was pushed." Rachel's smile didn't disappear, but it changed, just slightly. The officer nodded once, not surprised. "Who pushed her?" he asked. Another pause, longer this time. Then Rachel did. Now the shift was visible, not loud, not dramatic, but real. Rachel let out a small breath, like she was deciding something again. "She barely touched her," she said, shrugging. "She overreacted." But it didn't land the same, not anymore. The officer glanced at his partner, then back at her. "All right," he said. "We're going to sort this out." Not an accusation, not a conclusion, just process. But that was enough, because now it wasn't theirs anymore. The paramedics started moving Haley toward the ambulance. I walked beside them, never letting go of her hand. Her grip was weaker now, but still there. She looked at me finally. "Are we leaving?" she asked quietly. I nodded. "Yeah," I said. "We're leaving." And this time I meant more than just the backyard. Behind me, voices started rising. Low at first, controlled. My dad trying to explain. My mom interrupting. Rachel talking over both of them. It didn't matter, because for the first time, they weren't deciding how this ended. I stepped into the ambulance, sat beside Haley, pulled the blanket tighter around her. She leaned into me, exhausted, safe. And as the doors closed, I looked back one last time. Not at the house, not at them, just the space we were leaving behind. And I realized something. They didn't lose an argument. They didn't lose control of a moment. They lost access. And this time, they weren't getting it back.